Okay, baby, it's on. Okay, hello, 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 everyone. I am here today with my good friend and now coworker, Candace, and Schacher.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes, I used to always call her Schacher, so it's Schacher. So Candace, so wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you.
You. So Candace is here because she actually completed a little while, maybe a few months ago, our 90-day Breakdown to Breakthrough program. And she was amazing. She did great. She was totally full throttle in, and she's had some really big successes that she just wants to share. I asked her to come and share with all the people in my group and on my newsletter and everything, and just kind of share with you what are some of the benefits of like going in and doing some of this deep work. And anyhow, so I'll let her take it away. So first things first, we actually, Candace and I met at magically at a health food store. So go ahead, you could describe it. Our first run.
Okay. Well, it was like, I was in such a crazy state. I had just finished the master cleanse, which was like, because I'm in a state of adrenal fatigue, it was like so stripping. I was just like, oh my gosh, I have nothing left. And I had been dreaming of meeting somebody that did live blood analysis. And then Susan walks in the door and I'm like, hey, I heard you do live blood analysis. She's like, yeah, girl, stick out your tongue. So I stick out my tongue. She does a tongue reading on me, which was like incredible. I'm like, oh my gosh, everything you said, I already know is true. And so we ended up getting together, and that's kind of how that happened. It's been love since.
Yeah.
Um, but oh my gosh. So yeah, I feel like
What
going
were some,
in,
oh, go ahead. What were some of the things you had coming into the program that you were dealing with that were
yeah,
driving
so
you
going
home?
in like such adrenal fatigue, anxiety, this constant state of like fear under everything, you know,
Mhm.
which I didn't understand where that was coming from. Just feeling really disconnected from myself, feeling really lost. Lots of childhood trauma that I've never known how to work through. So yeah, just feeling like, please, somebody help me.
Yes.
you know, like, and I've reached out and tried other things, and I've never had any success. But yeah, I was just like, please. And then when I met you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually think that this is my lady. I just felt it.
It was like,
I know. Yeah.
yeah. And I think you were dealing with heartburn, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. How am I even forgetting that? That's amazing.
Yeah. Heartburn for years, I think.
Heartburn for years, and like I would go through months of straight heartburn,
Oh my
and
gosh.
not understand what that was coming from or how to help it, and had tried, being a supplement specialist, of course, trying so many different things and none of them helping, and being so disconnected from the idea of emotions playing a role in physical manifestations.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny whenever Candace would come over and she'd be freaking out about her heartburn. She would come. I'm very connected to her. Like she had a very strong pull in my body. Usually I can pick up clients' energy, but it was so funny with Candace because if she was about to come over the next day, I couldn't sleep the whole night long. I would have like major pain in my chest, and then she would come into the house and I was like, "Oh my God." And she would and I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's emotional." And she's like, "No, she couldn't, she didn't believe in the beginning that this issue could be so tied to emotions." I remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely a believer now.
Yeah.
Had so many shifts showing me so.
Yes. What do you, okay, so once you came in, so it was like adrenal fatigue, it was heartburn, there was like fears of never getting better or something bad happening, or like this kind of,
Not trusting my body, not being safe in general, not being safe in my body.
yeah,
Yeah, lots of fear, lots of unsafety.
yes. And so share with the group maybe a little bit about what you learned, or like what you learned coming in, what you learned, what was different, what you did differently than before that you learned in the program.
Well, I'll definitely say going into my emotions instead of running away from them is probably key
Yeah.
and the biggest thing that I've done. Of course, as a child, I learned that any of my negative emotions, if we'll call them that, are things to put aside and run away from, only celebrate the happy stuff. So going into the pain, really learning how to go in and surrender to it, and the benefits of doing so, that feeling of so much weight off your body after, and the magical shifts that can happen when you do it. Yeah. Things I never thought would happen naturally started to happen. I remember this one time we did really big inner child work, and it was all with my mom. And my mom's not somebody that really is in my life very much at all. Like maybe she'll call me once a month and talk about herself. And my siblings aren't really connected either. But then I did this big shift. And then the next day, my mom's messaging me, "Are you okay?" Which was like, what? You don't ask me if I'm okay. And then called me the next day, and we had this 1.5 hour long conversation. She told me things about her past I'd never known before, like emotionally opened up to me. It was bizarre,
I just got a body buzz as you were talking that, right?
I know.
Especially coming from your mom, because she is so more narcissistic, or never doesn't go, doesn't acknowledge your feelings, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, let's run away from those.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's the magic. Candace and I constantly keep talking about the magic that happens when you do this deep work. And it's so cool that, especially with some journey or inner child sessions, it's like, even when you have these conversations with people in the session, like without them being there, it's almost as if it happened in real life, and things magically shift.
I know, like my mom felt it. And even though she's unaware on an energetic level, she felt it,
Yeah.
And that just blew my mind. And I think that actually was the first big shift that I had that really let me know that the magic is real.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And now I have chills.
I know. Any other big shifts like that for you that were like ahas, that were such big ahas that really allowed you to?
Well, I will say more recently, I've had so many opportunities come into my life from making space. I think purging these emotions, purging all the stored energy, and making space for new, and also learning to communicate with the universe, which I've never really had that God connection. And call it what you may. For me, I connect with the universe in nature. But once I started talking to the universe and telling it what I want, like this, the magic just keeps coming in. And so recently I was offered a job by Susan. And then I have put my notice in at my job now. And once that was finalized and my last day was finalized, I've had so many offers pouring in, so many opportunities pouring in. For me, when COVID started, I was a personal chef and I lost my clients because of COVID, and I've stopped cooking. And all of a sudden I've had 3 cooking offers in the last couple of days because I have the space, because I told the universe I want more and I'm worth more. It's incredible to me. I've been waiting for the magic, you know, and seeing other people have the magic, and then it's finally come.
Well, and you know, it's so funny when it's like, sometimes we wait for this magic and all we got to do is take the plunge. Like, it's like the minute for you when you chose to quit that job and to say, I deserve more. And you had to step into fear. You had to step into that scary place. Like, how am I going to support myself? What am I going to do? What if the money doesn't come? And it's so funny when we step into the unknown, into that place that's scary, but we choose ourselves, how it's like, universe is like, okay,
got you. Yeah.
Got you. Like, yeah, because you got you first. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? That's so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And the trust first rings in my heart a lot. And it's probably the scariest thing to do, but it's the biggest thing to do, you know, when it comes to the magic.
Yes.
Key to the magic.
Yes. Yeah, it is. The trust is huge. What was I going to say? I think that's the scary thing with most people, is it's kind of like, whether even like coming into this program, for people that are wanting to come in and to take the big step, it is trust first. It's like scary to like do that, to make an investment, to make time for yourself, even to slow down. I know for Candace, for you, it was choosing to slow down sometimes, like choosing to put yourself first and not busy yourself. And it was like, the more that you just stepped into that energy, all these beautiful things would unfold.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I will say that I know myself more and love myself more than I ever have, and understand myself.
Yeah.
Like, just going back to the childhood so many times and really connecting who I am now and the things that I'm prone to do now and how they stem from then, and questioning my beliefs and things like that, and like really realizing, who am I now?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I love myself. I don't think I did going in. Not like this.
No. It's
so good. Yeah, it's so good.
So
I wish this for everybody. Really.
It's amazing. That's the thing. That's the peace. That's the inner peace, like, despite circumstance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Well, what we'll do is I'll ask you one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. But nutrition wise, tell us what you gained nutrition wise, what you learned. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Because
actually,
half of your stuff was emotional and then half was nutritional, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that the number one thing for me that really blew my mind too was understanding what is alkalizing to the body. You know, before I was a vegan for years, and I was living off of so much fruit and thinking, I am just doing it right. This is awesome. And realizing how much sugar I was pouring into my body, and actually how acidifying that was. And I remember meeting with you and going over what I should be eating, and eating a lot of raw too. I was eating so much raw, thinking that's so great. There's so many enzymes in it. So I'm like helping digest my food. And you're like, no more fruit and everything cooked.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I stopped being vegan when COVID started as well, because of all the health I was suffering with. And so, yeah, it's just like, it was like a complete
Yes.
switch from what I had been doing for the last 4.5 years. And understanding, and like breakfast now, I'm obsessed with vegetables for breakfast, like in every meal, and just knowing the benefits I'm doing to my body when I do those things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a really big shift, but a pretty easy one because I'm a chef, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's just like so much learning, and I just did not realize that I had been causing so much harm eating the way I was eating for my constitution. It just wasn't right. Yeah.
No, I know this is the thing. It's really, I think, and for anyone that's watching this, it's very challenging because sometimes you don't know, you think you're eating the right foods. You think you're eating healthy, but a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, I eat healthy. But yeah, but it might be, you could be having lemon and lemon isn't good for you, or perhaps lemon is good for you. Like in Candace's case, lemon was actually one of the secret ingredients.
Heartburn ingredients.
Yeah.
of healing, that is.
Of healing. And in some other people, it might be the actual thing that's causing the issue. Yeah. So it's figuring out what right foods do you need for yourself, which takes someone who has that expertise, like usually either like Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine to figure you out. Yeah.
And like understand that everybody is so unique and individual, and to cater to that, we don't all just fit in this box where this is healthy for everyone, Exactly. And so understanding, and also like where you're thrown off. Are you dry? Are you damp? What are you? And that's where the Chinese medicine comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super fascinating. I just want to commend you because you did incredible.
Thank you.
You're a poster child student. Hence why I had to like hire her up. Grab that. So like you did really great because I think that's the type of person that really works for this program. And we don't take anyone that wants to come in because you really have to have the drive. You have to have the drive for truth, for curiosity, you have to be a bit relentless in learning about yourself and kind of throw yourself in full throttle into the healing and almost have this like an insatiable curiosity to keep going in and learning. And that's what I found, Candace, you had for the program. That's why you did so well. Yeah.
And I will say that at the beginning, doing that, going in is scary. Yeah, it is. But as you keep doing it, that curiosity grows and grows, and it stops being scary. It starts being like, oh, here's an emotion. What's this about? It gets exciting.
Yes, exactly.
So it does get easier.
It does. That was the thing. I think we were talking about that tomorrow. Hold on. I got to say something. Joanne, you got to turn off your thing. I have people coming into my house all the time. So it's like, they don't know I'm making videos right now. Sir Blair's music. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like with anxiety at first, when we get it, like you said, you don't see it as a blessing. You don't see it as like a positive thing. Because sometimes until you get those huge shifts in your life, you see it as like God is against you or life is against you. You don't see it as like, oh, this is the pathway to everything I want.
Yeah.
That when you start to see it as this is the doorway, then it's like, why is this happening for me? That's the shift.
Yeah.
That's when you get the anxiety, and it's not like, oh, here we go again. Why is this? What's wrong with me? It starts.
No, and then you can go, okay, let's go in, and you have the tools because the program teaches you how to go in, and be your own guru, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's like now I'm not afraid and I can just go in.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
girl.
then tell you all about what I discovered.
I love you. I'm going to wrap it up. I wanted, if you have any advice for someone coming into the program, what would you say to them?
Oh, just fully surrender to to it all, you know, like embrace it all, surrender to it all. Because you're going to experience some magic. You just have to make the space, and be willing to do the work. But the work gets easier. It's hard at the beginning. You know, you go, it's like ebbs and flows, but oh my gosh, it'll be so worth it.
Yeah.
And then the magic will happen for you too. Yeah.
Yeah. Joanne is dancing in the kitchen too. She's like,
Ladies dance.
she's done the work too. She's done the work. Great. I love you guys. I love you. Have a beautiful. So thank you for joining us. And for anyone that's interested in the program and wants to get on a call, actually, Candace will be taking your breakthrough calls. So
Call me.
yes, and just call her. And so I'll drop the link. But if you want to get to the root of your stuckness and you want to figure out why this is going down and what steps you might have to take to get to where you want to go, you can book a breakthrough call and we'll see. We'll see what the pathway is for you. Okay. Have a good day. I love you.
Love you.
Bye, Eddie. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.